Rami had always dreamed of traveling to the stars. On Earth, he felt small and unnoticed. Jobs were scarce, and life often seemed ordinary. When he saw an advertisement for work on a distant planet called Zara, he did not hesitate. The job promised adventure, a chance to help a unique community, and a new life far from the crowded cities he knew. With a small bag and a heart full of hope, Rami boarded the sleek spaceship that would take him to an alien world. The journey was long, but Rami did not mind. He watched the stars move past the windows, each one glowing like a tiny lantern. He imagined the alien villages waiting for him, wondering how different life would be from Earth. Finally, after several days, the spaceship began its descent. Outside the window, Rami could see the planet's surface covered in soft, colorful light. Trees shimmered with gentle blue and purple leaves. Rivers of crystal clear water flowed calmly, reflecting the bright sky above. The village looked small but lively, with round structures that glowed faintly in the evening light. When the spaceship landed, Rami stepped out and felt the soft ground beneath his feet. The air smelled fresh and sweet, unlike anything he had known on Earth. The villagers, small and delicate beings with translucent skin that glowed faintly, gathered to welcome him. Their eyes were large and kind, and their movements were smooth, almost like dance. One of them, an elder named Tico, approached Rami with a gentle smile. "Welcome, human," Tico said in a calm voice. "We are glad you have come. You will help us, and we will guide you." Rami smiled nervously. "Thank you. I am happy to be here. I hope I can be of help." Tico nodded and motioned for him to follow. The villagers led Rami through the village, showing him the glowing houses and the beautiful gardens where plants grew in patterns he had never seen before. The leaves and flowers seemed to respond to touch, moving gently as he walked past. Some plants emitted soft musical notes, creating a peaceful melody that filled the air. Rami felt amazed. Everything on Zara felt alive and intelligent. "This village is small but strong," Tico explained. "Every being here has a role. Soon, you will find yours. You will learn, and you will be part of our community." Rami followed Tico to a round building at the center of the village. Inside, the walls were smooth and warm, and soft lights floated in the air. Other villagers were gathered there, smiling at him. They did not speak at first but welcomed him with nods and gentle gestures. Rami felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had never been greeted with such kindness. One young villager, a curious alien named Lumi, stepped forward. Her glow was soft, like moonlight. "You must be Rami," she said. "We are happy you are here. You will see that our lives are different, but beautiful." Rami nodded, unsure how to respond. He had expected work, tasks, and rules, but he had not expected the sense of peace and harmony. The villagers moved gracefully as they continued their introductions. Rami felt both nervous and excited. He wondered what exactly his job would be and how he would fit into this strange new world. Tico guided him to a small room where he would sleep. The bed was soft and warm, shaped to fit his body comfortably. There were glowing orbs that changed color with the room's mood, creating a relaxing environment. Rami lay down for a moment, staring at the ceiling. The walls seemed to breathe with light, and he realized that everything in the village was alive in some way. The next morning, Rami woke to soft music coming from the gardens. He stepped outside and saw the villagers already working. Some tended to the plants, while others prepared small dishes that smelled both sweet and fresh. Rami followed Tico to the central plaza, where he would meet more of the community. You will start by observing, Tico said. Learn our ways. Watch how we care for each other and the land. Tomorrow, you will begin your work. Rami nodded. He watched as the villagers moved with careful precision, communicating without words. He noticed that every action, no matter how small, seemed to have meaning. There was no rush or chaos. Everything was balanced. He felt both nervous and inspired. As the day passed, Rami explored the village further. He discovered a small library of holographic images that told the story of the village and its people. The images showed how the aliens had survived hardships and preserved their culture. He learned that Zara had few resources and that every life was precious. The community depended on cooperation and care to thrive. Rami began to understand that joining this village meant more than just earning a living. It meant becoming part of something larger than himself. By evening, Rami had met almost every villager. Lumi stayed by his side, explaining small details about daily life. She showed him how the plants responded to touch, how the water in the streams was purified naturally, and how the lights in the houses were connected to the villagers' moods. Rami was amazed. He had never seen anything like this. Tomorrow, you will start your job, Lumi said softly. It is important, and it may surprise you. But do not worry. We will guide you. Rami felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He could not imagine what kind of work the aliens needed a human for. Still, he trusted them and felt ready to learn. As night fell, he returned to his room and lay down. Outside, the village glowed softly under the stars. He felt a strange sense of belonging. For the first time in his life, Rami felt that he had found a place where he might matter. He closed his eyes, wondering what tomorrow would bring, and hoped he would be strong enough to meet the challenges of this new world. The morning sun rose over the glowing village of Zara, bathing the round houses and soft gardens in golden light. Rami woke early, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today, he would begin learning about his job. He had no idea what it might involve, but he trusted Tico and the other villagers. Rami dressed quickly in simple clothes provided by the village. The fabric was soft and light, and it adjusted to his body temperature automatically. He marveled at the small details, noticing that even the clothes seemed alive in a gentle way. Stepping outside, he saw Lumi waiting for him near the central plaza. Her glow was calm and soothing, and she smiled warmly at him. "Good morning, Rami," Lumi said. "Today, you will see more of our world and begin your training. Tico will explain everything carefully." Rami followed Lumi through the village, taking in the sights and sounds. Villagers were tending the plants, gathering food, and caring for small creatures that moved among the gardens. Everything seemed peaceful and purposeful. Rami felt a sense of wonder he had never experienced before. They arrived at a large circular building at the edge of the village. The walls were smooth and shimmering, reflecting the light outside. Inside, Rami saw many tables, charts, and holographic displays. Tico stood in the center, waiting for him. "Good morning, Rami," Tico said. "Today you will begin your orientation. You will learn about our village, our needs, and the role you will play. We value life, and every action has meaning. You are here to help us continue our community." Rami nodded. "I am ready to learn," he said, his voice steady despite the nervous flutter in his chest. Tico gestured toward the displays. Holographic images of the village appeared, showing the people, plants, and animals. The images shifted to show how the community worked together, caring for one another and for the environment. Rami watched carefully, noticing the harmony and balance in every action. Our village is small, Tico explained, and every life is precious. We rely on cooperation, respect, and care to survive. Soon, you will see that your role is special and very important. It may be different from anything you have known. Rami felt a strange sense of anticipation. He had expected work, but not something that felt so deeply meaningful. What kind of work will I do? He asked quietly. You will see soon, Tico said gently. For now, observe and learn. Tomorrow, you will begin hands-on training. Everything is safe, and we will guide you step by step. Tico led Rami to a smaller room filled with glowing panels and soft cushions. Here, Rami was introduced to more details about the village's way of life. He learned how the plants and creatures were connected, how energy flowed naturally through the village, and how every being had a purpose. Lumi stayed close, explaining in simple words. Our village is alive in many ways. The plants respond to touch, the water remembers care, and the light reacts to our moods. Everything works together. You will see that life here is different, but it is beautiful. Rami nodded, amazed. It feels magical, he said. Lumi smiled. It is not magic. It is understanding and respect. Everything has a place and a purpose. The rest of the morning was spent observing the villagers as they went about their daily tasks. Rami watched a group of aliens carefully tending the plants, ensuring each one received the right amount of light and water. Others prepared food with skill and precision, using ingredients grown in the village gardens. Every action seemed connected to something larger. Rami noticed the villagers' attention to each other. When one tripped or made a small mistake, others helped without hesitation or complaint. There was no rush or anger. The community worked as a single, harmonious unit. Rami felt a deep sense of respect for them. During a break, Lumi led Rami to a small garden near the village center. Soft lights floated above the plants, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of flowers. Rami sat on a cushion while Lumi explained more about the village. You may notice that our people are different from humans, she said. We do not live as long, and we do not reproduce in the same way. That is why your presence is important. You will help us continue our community. But everything is done with care, respect, and understanding. We value every life. Rami listened carefully. He did not yet fully understand, but he sensed the importance of his future role. I want to help, he said quietly. I want to be part of this community. Lumi's glow brightened slightly. We are glad. You will learn more tomorrow. For now, rest and observe. Pay attention to how we care for each other and for life. The afternoon was filled with more observation. Rami saw how the villagers worked together to build small structures, repair equipment, and maintain the village. He noticed how even small tasks were treated with care and respect. The aliens moved gracefully, almost as if their bodies and minds were in perfect balance. By evening, Rami felt both tired and inspired. He had learned more in one day than he had in years on Earth. He saw the harmony, the care, and the purpose in every action. He began to understand why the villagers valued life so highly and why his role, whatever it would be, mattered. Tico approached him as the sun began to set. You have observed well today, Rami. Tomorrow, you will begin your hands-on training. Remember, everything is safe, and we will guide you. Your role is important, and it will help our village continue. Rami nodded, feeling a mixture of nervousness and determination. I am ready, he said. As night fell, the village glowed softly under the stars. The plants shimmered, the water reflected the light, and the villagers moved quietly, completing their evening tasks. Rami returned to his room, feeling a strange sense of belonging. He realized that this village was different from anything he had ever known, and he was eager to be part of it. He lay on the soft bed, listening to the gentle hum of the village outside. Lumi had told him that everything was connected, and he could feel it. The world was alive, and for the first time, he felt that he was part of something larger than himself. Rami closed his eyes, thinking about the day ahead. He did not yet know the full nature of his work, but he trusted the villagers and felt ready to learn. Tomorrow would bring new experiences, new challenges, and new understanding. For now, he allowed himself to rest, feeling a quiet excitement for the life he had begun on Zara. The next morning, Rami woke to the soft glow of the village. The air smelled sweet and fresh, and the gentle hum of life filled his senses. He had spent the previous day observing, learning the rhythm of the village, and feeling a sense of belonging. Today, he was told he would begin the first part of his training. Tico had promised to explain his role more clearly, and Rami felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He followed Lumi through the plaza, where the other villagers were already working. Everyone greeted him with a soft nod or a gentle gesture. The way the villagers moved, calm and deliberate, made Rami feel as if he had stepped into a world of harmony. Lumi led him to a quiet area near the gardens, where soft lights floated above the ground, illuminating the space. Rami, Lumi said softly, "Today you will learn more about the purpose of your work. It may surprise you, but it is important. Please remember that everything we do is with care, respect, and understanding." Rami nodded, his curiosity growing. He had a feeling that what he was about to see would be different from anything he had experienced on Earth. "I am ready," he said. Tico joined them, carrying a small tablet that glowed with soft light. He gestured to a holographic display that appeared in the air. Images of the villagers appeared, showing the way they lived and interacted. Then, the images shifted to show something Rami had not expected: the process of reproduction in the village. The villagers did not reproduce like humans. They had a unique method that required help from humans to continue their species. At first, Rami felt a jolt of surprise and uncertainty. He had not imagined this would be part of his job. But as he watched, Tico spoke gently. "Rami, this is not personal. It is biological and essential for our survival. Your role is important, but it is safe and controlled. We need humans like you to help our community continue. You will not be alone. Everything is guided and respectful." Rami took a deep breath, trying to process the information. His heart raced, but he looked at Tico and Lumi, seeing their calm and patient expressions. He realized that the villagers trusted him, and he wanted to live up to their trust. Lumi stepped closer. "Rami, we understand that this may feel strange. You are here to help life continue. Every action is part of our way of caring for each other and for the future. We value life in every form. We will teach you everything, and you will always have guidance." Rami nodded slowly. He felt a mix of nervousness and determination. He had come to this planet seeking purpose and adventure, and now he understood that his role would be important to the survival of an entire community. Tico guided him to a private area where the process would take place in a safe and controlled environment. The area was calm, filled with soft light and gentle music. Equipment hummed quietly, designed to ensure safety and comfort. Rami could see the care that had gone into creating a space that respected both the humans and the villagers. "Everything here is natural and safe," Tico explained. We have done this many times, and the process respects everyone involved. You will not be forced to do anything you do not wish. Your understanding and willingness are what matter most. Rami felt a sense of relief. The villagers were not asking him to act against his will. They were offering him a chance to help in a meaningful way, with respect and care. He realized that his presence was already making a difference. Over the next few hours, Rami observed how the process worked. The villagers showed him how life was nurtured and how every step was planned carefully. They explained the science behind their methods and how humans played a role in continuing their community. Lumi guided him patiently, answering questions and reassuring him whenever he felt unsure. Rami began to understand that his role was not just biological. It was also about care, attention, and respect for life. He realized that helping the village survive required more than courage, it required empathy and responsibility. As he watched the villagers interact with each other, he felt a growing sense of connection and purpose. Throughout the day, Rami learned how to prepare, observe, and support the process safely. He practiced simple steps under the guidance of Tico and Lumi, gaining confidence. He saw the joy and gratitude in the villagers' eyes, and he felt proud to be part of something so meaningful. By evening, Rami felt exhausted but fulfilled. He had faced a challenge he had not expected, and he had begun to understand the importance of his role. He walked through the village with Lumi, observing the glowing gardens and the peaceful interactions between villagers. Everything felt alive and purposeful, and he felt a deep sense of belonging. "Rami," Lumi said softly, "you have done well today. It is normal to feel surprised or uncertain. What matters is that you are willing to learn and to help. You are becoming part of our community." Rami smiled, feeling warmth in his chest. "I want to help," he said. "I want to make a difference here." Lumi's glow brightened slightly. "Then you are already making a difference. Every action, every choice, every moment of care matters. You will see the results soon." As night fell, the village glowed softly under the stars. Rami returned to his room, reflecting on everything he had learned. The knowledge of the villagers' unique needs was surprising, but he also felt a sense of purpose. He had come to Zara seeking a new life, and now he understood that he was part of something vital and meaningful. Rami lay on the soft bed, listening to the gentle hum of the village outside. He thought about the day's lessons and the trust the villagers had placed in him. For the first time, he felt that he was truly needed. He realized that his presence on Zara was more important than he had ever imagined. Closing his eyes, Rami felt a mix of nervousness and determination. He did not yet know all the details of his role, but he trusted Tico, Lumi, and the other villagers. He understood that helping them would require courage, care, and respect. For the first time in his life, he felt that he had a purpose bigger than himself. As he drifted to sleep, he imagined the future of the village and his place in it. He knew that tomorrow would bring new lessons and new challenges. He also knew that he was ready to face them, because he was no longer just a visitor. He was part of a living, breathing community that depended on him. The morning light in Zara was soft and golden. Rami woke feeling curious and determined. Yesterday, he had learned about the village's secret and the role he might play in their survival. Today, he hoped to understand more about why his work mattered and how he could contribute safely. Lumi was waiting for him outside his room. Her glow was gentle, and her eyes reflected calm understanding. "Good morning, Rami," she said. "Today, Tico will help you understand the deeper meaning of your role. It is more than work. It is about life, care, and purpose." Rami nodded, taking a deep breath. He felt ready to learn. The villagers were already moving through the plaza with their usual harmony. Each action was precise, each movement careful, yet graceful. Rami marveled at the way the community functioned as a single living unit. He realized that life on Zaro was connected in ways he had never imagined. Tico greeted him at the central building. Rami, today you will see why humans are important to our village. It is not only about biology. It is about understanding, care, and the continuation of life. You will observe and learn the rituals that honor our past and ensure our future. Rami followed Tico to a special area of the village he had not yet seen. This place was peaceful, surrounded by soft light and floating plants. The air felt warmer here, and there was a sense of calm that made Rami's heart slow. Tico gestured for him to sit and began to explain. Our people have survived many challenges, Tico said. We once struggled to maintain our numbers and protect our community. Every life is precious. Humans like you help us continue our species safely. You provide what our village alone cannot create. Your role is not personal. It is essential to the survival of our people. Rami listened carefully. The words were serious, but they were full of respect and care. He began to understand that this was not a job like any he had had on Earth. It was a responsibility to life itself. Lumi knelt beside him. Rami, the process is safe and controlled. You will not be alone. Every step is guided by science and care. The children who are born are loved and cherished by everyone. Our community thrives because we value life and protect it. You will help us continue this cycle. Rami nodded slowly, feeling a mixture of nervousness and determination. I think I understand, he said. It is about helping the village survive and caring for life. Tico smiled gently. Yes, Rami. You see clearly. When you work with us, you are not only providing a necessary role. You are also learning our ways, respecting life, and connecting with our people. Every child born here is a gift to the village. And every act you take is meaningful. To help Rami understand better, Tico and Lumi invited him to observe the daily life of a small group of villagers. They watched as the aliens nurtured young plants and cared for the small animals that moved among the gardens. Every gesture was precise and thoughtful. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. Every action had a purpose. Rami noticed the care in each interaction. When a young plant struggled, the villagers adjusted the light and water gently. When a small creature seemed scared, someone approached calmly, speaking in soft tones until the creature felt safe. Rami realized that life on Zaro was treated with respect at every level. This is why your role is important, Tico explained. Humans bring strength, diversity, and a connection to life that we cannot produce alone. You are part of the cycle. You are helping life continue in a way that honors every being in our village. Rami felt a deep sense of pride. He had come to this planet seeking a new beginning, and now he realized that his presence mattered more than he had imagined. He was not just working, he was contributing to the survival and happiness of an entire community. Throughout the day, Rami observed the rituals that celebrated life and growth. He saw how the villagers honored new beginnings, how they supported one another, and how every birth was a community event. The joy and gratitude were clear in every gesture and every word. Lumi stayed close to him, answering questions and explaining small details. We value patience, care, and respect, she said. When a child is born, we celebrate not only life itself but also the effort and cooperation that made it possible. You are part of this effort, Rami. You are making a difference. As the hours passed, Rami began to feel more comfortable. He understood that he would not be acting alone, that everything was guided by careful planning and respect for life. He also realized that his presence allowed the village to thrive in ways it could not do by itself. He felt a sense of connection to the aliens, as if he were part of their world rather than just a visitor. By evening, Rami joined the villagers in a quiet ceremony near the central garden. Soft lights floated above the plants, and gentle music filled the air. The villagers moved in harmony, performing gestures that symbolized care, protection, and gratitude. Rami watched closely, noticing how every action reflected the values Tycho had explained. "This is what we do to honor life," Tycho said softly. "Every step you take, every choice you make, contributes to the future of our village. Your role is a gift, not only to us but to the generations that will follow." Rami felt a deep warmth in his heart. He realized that the villagers' way of life was different, yes, but it was full of purpose and meaning. He felt honored to be included, to be trusted, and to have a role that mattered so deeply. As night fell, the village glowed under the stars. Rami returned to his room, reflecting on the day. He had begun to understand the true purpose of his work. It was not about obligation or duty. It was about care, respect, and helping life continue. He felt proud and determined to do his best. Lying on his soft bed, Rami thought about the future. He knew there would be challenges ahead, but he also knew that he had a role that mattered. He had a purpose, and for the first time in his life, he felt that he was truly needed. The village had accepted him, trusted him, and included him in their way of life. Closing his eyes, Rami felt a quiet sense of peace. He was part of something bigger than himself. He was part of a living, breathing community that valued every life and honored every action. Tomorrow, he would take the next step in his journey, and he felt ready. For the first time, Rami understood what it meant to truly belong. He had come to Zara seeking a new life, and now he knew that he had found it. The morning sun rose over the glowing village of Zara, casting long shadows across the soft, colorful gardens. Rami woke with a restless feeling. Over the past few days, he had learned the secret of the village and understood the importance of his role. Yet, a heavy weight pressed on his chest. The responsibility was bigger than anything he had faced before. He dressed quickly and stepped outside, where Lumi waited for him. Her soft glow warmed him with calm reassurance. "Good morning, Rami," she said. "You look thoughtful today. Are you ready to continue your training?" Rami nodded slowly, forcing a smile. "I think so. But I still feel unsure. What I am asked to do is very important, and I do not want to make mistakes." Lumi placed a gentle hand on his arm. "It is normal to feel this way. Every human who comes here feels unsure at first. The important thing is to be willing and careful. You are not alone. We will guide you through everything." Rami followed Lumi to the central plaza, where Tycho was waiting. The other villagers were already moving gracefully, tending the plants and caring for the small animals. Everything was alive with energy, yet perfectly balanced. "Rami," Tycho said, his voice calm and steady, "today you will begin the next part of your training. You will learn how your role helps our village continue. It is not easy, but it is meaningful. You must understand the importance of care, patience, and respect. Life depends on these qualities." Rami nodded. He had seen the beauty and harmony of the village, but he also felt nervous. The process he was to assist with required more than observation. It required responsibility, courage, and understanding. Tico guided Rami to a private area surrounded by soft light and glowing plants. The air was calm, carrying the faint scent of flowers. Lumi stayed close, offering quiet support. Rami felt the weight of the villagers' trust pressing on him, and for a moment, doubt crept into his mind. "I am not sure I am ready," Rami admitted quietly. "What if I make a mistake? What if I fail?" Tico smiled gently. "Rami, no one expects perfection. What matters is your willingness to learn, your care, and your attention. Mistakes are part of growth. The village supports you. You are not alone." Lumi added softly, "Your courage is not measured by fearlessness. It is measured by your choice to act with care despite uncertainty. You have that courage, Rami. You already help our village by being willing." Rami took a deep breath and felt the tension in his chest ease slightly. He realized that the villagers were not asking him to be perfect. They were asking him to be present, responsible, and caring. That was something he could do. The morning passed with careful practice. Rami learned the small, safe steps of the process. He observed, assisted, and listened closely to Tico and Lumi. Every action was guided, every detail explained. He began to see how his presence allowed the village to thrive in ways it could not do alone. Even as he gained confidence, the responsibility weighed on him. He could not ignore the fact that his actions had real consequences. Each step required focus, respect, and understanding. The villagers' lives, their future, depended in part on his care. It was a heavy thought, but also a motivating one. During a break, Rami walked through the village gardens. The soft light of the plants and the gentle hum of life around him offered a sense of calm. He watched as the villagers moved with purpose and care. He began to understand that life on Zaro was not just about survival. It was about respect, harmony, and community. Every gesture mattered, every action contributed to the future. Lumi joined him quietly. "Rami, I know it is difficult to accept at first," she said. "It is natural to feel unsure when asked to take responsibility for life. But you are not asked to do it alone. The village supports you. We all share this responsibility together." Rami nodded slowly, taking in her words. He realized that he had felt fear not because the work was wrong, but because it was important. The weight of responsibility showed him that his actions mattered. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of the village, and the village depended on him. As the day progressed, Rami continued to practice under careful guidance. He learned to balance focus with calm, patience with action. Each step he took was met with quiet encouragement from Tico and Lumi. He began to feel a sense of connection, not just to the process, but to the village itself. By evening, Rami had completed several tasks successfully. The villagers watched with soft smiles, expressing gratitude and pride in ways that did not require words. Rami felt a warm sense of accomplishment. He realized that he was capable of contributing, of being responsible, and of helping life continue. Tico approached him as the sun dipped below the horizon. "Rami, you have done well today," he said. "You are learning not only the steps but the meaning behind them. Understanding purpose is as important as the actions themselves. You are becoming part of our community." Rami felt a quiet smile spread across his face. "I think I understand now," he said. "It is not just about doing the work. It is about respecting life and helping the village survive." "Yes," Lumi said, her glow soft and warm. "You are learning the values of our people. Courage, care, respect, and patience. These are the qualities that allow our village to thrive." You are part of that now, Rami. As night fell, Rami returned to his room, feeling exhausted but fulfilled. He lay on the soft bed, thinking about the day's lessons. He realized that accepting responsibility was not easy, but it was rewarding. The village had entrusted him with something vital, and he had begun to rise to the challenge. He thought about the future. He knew there would be more challenges, more moments of doubt. But he also knew that he was not alone. The villagers would guide him, support him, and celebrate his efforts. For the first time, Rami felt that he belonged somewhere, that his actions mattered, and that he had a purpose greater than himself. Closing his eyes, Rami allowed himself to rest. The soft hum of the village outside reminded him that he was part of a living, caring community. Tomorrow, he would continue learning, continue practicing, and continue growing. He had begun to accept his role, not as a burden, but as an honor. For the first time, Rami felt a quiet confidence. He was ready to face the responsibilities of his new life, to help the village thrive, and to be part of something meaningful. He knew the road ahead would not always be easy, but he also knew that he had the courage, care, and determination to meet it. The next morning, Rami woke with a sense of purpose he had never felt before. Over the past days, he had learned about the village's secret, struggled with the responsibility, and begun to accept his role. Today, he felt ready to commit fully. The weight that had once pressed on his chest now felt like a challenge he could meet. Lumi was waiting for him near the plaza, her glow soft and encouraging. "Good morning, Rami," she said. "You look different today. Stronger. Ready." Rami smiled. "I think I am ready," he said. "I want to do my part fully." Together, they walked through the village. The air was fresh, and the soft light of the plants made everything seem alive. Villagers moved with grace, tending to the gardens and small creatures. Every action seemed connected to the next, creating a harmony that Rami had come to admire deeply. Tico met them at the central building. "Rami, today you will begin the full practice of your role. You will assist in ways that are guided, careful, and meaningful. You have observed and learned. Now it is time to act fully, with understanding and respect. Every step matters." Rami felt a mixture of nervousness and excitement. He had been preparing for this moment, and he knew the villagers would guide him every step of the way. He took a deep breath and followed Tico and Lumi to the designated area, a calm space filled with soft light and gentle music. The villagers were already present, preparing the area carefully. Rami noticed how each action was performed with patience and attention. There was no rush, no confusion. Everything was organized, balanced, and full of care. He felt the importance of his role more than ever before. Tico guided him through the process step by step. Rami followed carefully, observing first, then assisting under the elder's watchful eye. He began to feel more confident as he saw the results of his actions. Every gesture, every step, was met with care and gratitude from the villagers. "You are doing well, Rami," Tico said gently. "You are learning not just the steps but the meaning behind them. You are helping life continue. Your presence is valuable, and your effort is appreciated." Rami felt a warm sense of pride. He realized that his role was not just a task, it was a contribution to the survival and happiness of an entire community. He had come to this planet seeking a new life, and now he understood that he was part of something vital. Throughout the day, Rami worked closely with Lumi and Tico. He learned to anticipate the villagers' needs, to adjust carefully to small changes, and to act with patience and respect. He saw how every action contributed to the harmony of the village and the well-being of its people. As the hours passed, Rami began to feel a deep connection to the village. He realized that helping the aliens was not only about completing tasks but also about forming bonds. The villagers trusted him, accepted him, and relied on him. He felt honored by their trust and motivated to do his best. During a quiet moment, Lumi spoke softly to him. "Rami, you have come a long way. At first, you were uncertain and nervous. Now, you act with confidence, care, and understanding. You are part of our community in a meaningful way." Rami nodded. "I feel different," he said. "I feel like I belong here. I never thought I could make such a difference." Lumi smiled. "You are learning that life is about more than oneself. Helping others, caring for life, and contributing to the future is what makes a community strong. You are part of that strength now." By evening, Rami had completed his task successfully. The villagers gathered around him, expressing gratitude through gentle gestures and soft sounds. He felt their appreciation deeply, and it gave him a sense of fulfillment he had never known on earth. Tycho approached him as the sun began to set. "Rami, today you have shown commitment, care, and understanding. You are becoming a vital part of our village. The children, the future, and the harmony of our people benefit from your presence. You are helping life continue in a way that honors every being here." Rami felt a quiet warmth in his chest. He had faced challenges, struggled with doubt, and now embraced his role fully. For the first time, he felt that he was truly making a difference. He had found a purpose that mattered, a place where he belonged, and a community that valued him. As night fell, the village glowed softly under the stars. Rami walked through the plaza, observing the calm and harmony around him. He saw how the plants shimmered, how the water reflected the gentle lights, and how the villagers moved with care. Everything in the village depended on attention, respect, and cooperation. He realized that he was now part of the system, helping it thrive. Returning to his room, Rami lay on the soft bed and reflected on the day. He thought about the trust the villagers had placed in him and the difference he had made. He felt proud, content, and ready for the future. The weight of responsibility had shifted into a sense of purpose. Closing his eyes, he imagined the future of the village. He saw the children growing, the community thriving, and life continuing in harmony. He understood that his actions mattered in ways he had never imagined. He felt a deep connection to the aliens and to the new life he was helping create. For the first time, Rami felt fully at home. He knew that he had a role that was important, meaningful, and respected. He had struggled, learned, and grown. Now, he was ready to continue, fully committed to the village, its people, and the life he was helping to nurture. Rami drifted to sleep with a calm and happy heart. The village hummed softly outside, full of light and life. He knew that tomorrow would bring more work, more lessons, and more growth. But he was no longer afraid or uncertain. He was ready to be part of something larger than himself, and he knew that his efforts would have lasting impact. For the first time in his life, Rami felt that he belonged to a place that needed him, valued him, and trusted him. He had found purpose, connection, and meaning on Zara, and he knew that he would continue to grow with the village, contributing to life, harmony, and the future of this alien world. The morning sun shone brightly over the village of Zara. The air was warm and filled with the gentle hum of life. Rami woke feeling a quiet excitement. Today would be different from any day before. Over the past weeks, he had learned, struggled, and grown. He had accepted his role, committed fully, and now he could see the results of his efforts. He dressed quickly in the soft, light clothes provided by the village and stepped outside. Lumi was waiting, her glow soft and cheerful. "Good morning, Rami," she said. "Today, you will see the fruits of your work. You have helped life continue, and now the village will celebrate new beginnings." Rami felt a warm sense of pride. He had faced challenges and doubts, but he had persisted. He had learned patience, care, and understanding. Now, he would witness the impact of his dedication. The villagers gathered in the central plaza, their movements calm and harmonious. Plants glowed softly, and streams of clear water reflected the light. Rami noticed the energy of the community. There was a quiet joy in the air, a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. Tico approached him with a gentle smile. "Rami, today you will see how your efforts have helped our village. Life has continued, and our community grows stronger. Your role has made this possible. We are grateful for your presence, care, and dedication." Rami nodded, feeling a lump of emotion in his throat. He had never imagined that he could make such a difference. He had come to Zara seeking a new life, and now he realized that he had found a purpose greater than himself. Lumi guided him through the village. They passed glowing gardens where small plants were thriving, carefully tended by the villagers. They passed clear streams where young creatures moved safely and happily. Every step showed Rami how the village had grown stronger and more harmonious because of the community's care and his contributions. Finally, they reached a quiet area near the heart of the village. Here, small cradles held new life. The young children of Zara glowed softly, moving gently and peacefully. The villagers gathered around them, singing soft melodies and offering gentle touches of care. Rami's heart swelled as he watched. "These children are a gift to our village," Tico said softly. "They are the result of our combined efforts, and your presence has helped make this possible. You are part of their beginning, and you are part of our future." Rami felt tears rise in his eyes. He had helped create life in a way he had never imagined. He had struggled, learned, and grown, and now he could see the result of his dedication. The village was alive, thriving, and full of joy, and he had contributed to that life. Lumi placed a gentle hand on his arm. "Rami, you see now why your role is important. It is not only about tasks or actions. It is about connection, care, and respect for life. You have become part of our community in a meaningful way." Rami smiled through his tears. "I understand now. I never knew that I could make a difference like this. I feel proud and happy. I feel like I belong." Tico nodded. "You do belong, Rami. You are part of the cycle of life here. Every child born, every plant nurtured, every action of care contributes to the harmony of our village. You are a part of that harmony now." As the day progressed, the village celebrated the new beginnings. Soft music floated through the air, plants shimmered in response to the joy, and the villagers moved gracefully, performing gentle gestures of care and gratitude. Rami participated fully, assisting where he could, learning more about the community, and feeling the joy of life he had helped nurture. He watched as Lumi and Tico guided the children gently, showing him how to interact with care and attention. Rami felt a deep sense of connection. These children were not just part of the village, they were part of a future he had helped create. He realized that life on Zara was different from Earth, but it was beautiful, meaningful, and full of purpose. As evening approached, Rami walked through the village alone for a moment, reflecting on everything he had experienced. The glow of the plants, the gentle movement of the villagers, and the laughter of the children filled him with warmth. He realized that he had come seeking adventure and a new life, and he had found so much more. He had found purpose, connection, and a community that valued him. Returning to his room, Rami sat by the window, watching the village glow under the stars. The streams reflected the soft light, and the gardens shimmered with color. He thought about the journey he had taken from arrival, to discovery, to struggle, and finally to acceptance and commitment. Each step had led him here, to a place where he mattered, where his actions had impact, and where life continued because of care and cooperation. He realized that his presence on Zara would leave a lasting legacy. The children he had helped nurture would grow, thrive, and contribute to the community. The village would continue to flourish, strengthened by the harmony and dedication of everyone who lived there. And he had become an integral part of that legacy. Lying on his soft bed, Rami felt a quiet joy. He had faced fear, uncertainty, and doubt, yet he had persevered. He had learned patience, responsibility, and respect. He had connected with life in ways he had never imagined. And now he was part of something eternal, the cycle of care, life, and growth on Zara. As he drifted to sleep, Rami felt a sense of peace he had never known on earth. The village hummed softly outside, alive with light, movement, and care. He knew that tomorrow would bring new tasks, new lessons, and new opportunities to contribute. But he was no longer afraid or uncertain. He was ready to continue, fully committed to the village, its people, and the life he had helped nurture. For the first time, Rami felt a deep and lasting sense of belonging. He was human, yet he was part of this alien world. He had found purpose, friendship, and community. He had discovered that courage, care, and understanding could make a difference. And he knew that he would continue to grow, learn, and help life thrive on Zara for as long as he lived. The stars shone above the village, reflecting in the streams and glimmering through the glowing leaves. Rami closed his eyes with a smile. He was home. He was needed. He was part of something greater than himself. And in that moment, he knew that his journey had only just begun, full of meaning, purpose, and the joy of life he had helped preserve.